Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS. Today we are going to discuss about powers and functions of Parliament. In this video we will specifically discuss about financial and constituent powers of Parliament. Now let us first discuss about financial powers and functions of the Parliament. First, no tax can be levied or collected and no expenditure can be incurred by an executive except under the authority and approval of Parliament. Next, the enactment of budget by the Parliament legalizes the receipts and expenditure of the government for that financial year. Next, the Parliament scrutinizes government spending and financial performance with the help of financial committees. They are Public Accounts Committee, Estimates Committee, and Committee on Public Undertakings. The Parliament controls the executive in financial matters in two stages. They are budgetary control and post-budgetary control. In budgetary control, the control is before the appropriation of grants through enactment of budget. And in post-budgetary control, the control is after the appropriation of grants through the three financial committees as stated earlier. Also note that the budget is based on the principle of annuality. That is, it grants money to the government for one financial year. If that money is not spent by the end of that financial year, the balance expires and returns to Consolidated Fund of India. This is known as rule of lapse. But we observe a heavy rush of expenditure towards the close of financial year. This phenomena is known as March rush. Now let us discuss about constituent powers and functions of the Parliament. The Parliament has the power to amend the Constitution by addition, variation or repeal of any provision. The power to initiate the process of amendment of Constitution exclusively lies in the hand of Parliament and not with the state legislature. There is one exception to this, that is, the state legislature can pass a resolution requesting the Parliament for creation or abolition of legislative councils in the states according to Article 169. Also note that the constituent power of Parliament is not unlimited. It is subjected to basic structure of constitution. That is, according to Keshavananda Bharati case and Minerva Mills case, the Supreme Court held that the Parliament cannot amend the basic structure of the constitution. Next, the Parliament can amend the constitution in three ways. They are simple majority, special majority and special majority with consent of half of all the state legislatures. Now let us discuss a question based on this. Consider the following statements. Statement number 1. An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by introduction of bill in Lok Sabha only. This statement is false because it can be introduced in either house, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Statement number 2. If such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character of the Constitution, the amendment requires to be ratified by legislature of all the states of India. This is also false because it is mentioned here that the ratification should be done by all the states of India, which is false. It should be ratified by only half of the states of India. So the answer is D, neither one nor two. Thank you.